Hi, my dear students. I welcome you all for your video class. Today, I am going to revise History Chapter 1. Okay, what is the name of the History Chapter 1, children? Yes, what, where, how, and when. Okay, what is the name of the Geography first chapter? Yes, the Earth in the solar system. Okay, what is the name of the first chapter in Civics? Yes, understanding diversity. Okay. In today's class, we revise these three chapters. Okay. First, we'll discuss about History Chapter 1. What is the name of the History Chapter 1? What, where, how, and when. In this, what is mean by history, children? Yes. In simple terms, history is a study of past. History is a study of the past. Clear, children? In fact, history is a record of people, places, and events of the past arranged in a chronological order. Clear? History is the study of past. That is the story of the people who lived in the past. In fact, history is a record of people, places, and events of the past arranged in a chronological order. Clear, children? Okay, students. Why do we study history? The study of history is very important to us for many reasons. To know our past, then to know about our human culture and civilization, then to lead a life in a better way, then to know about the kings and ordinary people, then to develop important skills and qualities, and to know about the evolution of different languages, and so many things. Okay, why do we study history? The study of history is very important to us for many reasons. What are they? To know our past, then to know about human culture and civilization, then to lead a life in a better way, then to know about the kings and ordinary people, then to develop important skills and qualities, at last to know about the evolution of different languages. Clear? Are you clear, children? Okay, next we'll discuss information about the past. In that, we have three past. One is near past, another one is previous months or year, another one is distant past. Okay, what is mean by near past, children? Suppose we have to know about yesterday or the day, any news before yesterday. Then we read a newspaper, then listen to the radio or watch the television. Isn't it? Yes, of course we do like that only. Then if the previous months or year means what? If we wish to gather information related to last month or some previous months, we read magazines, then annual reports, or ask someone who remembers that particular incidents. Isn't it? Yes, of course. Then distant past. What does mean by distant past, children? But if we have find out what happened the decades or centuries ago, we study a history book or various sources of history. Isn't it? For that purpose only, we are studying history. Are you clear, students? Okay. Next, we'll discuss the places where early people lived. On the basis of the analysis of the geographical framework of our subcontinent, we can easily understand that early people lived mainly in the some places. Okay, first one is banks of Narmada. The area traces the habitation of the earliest people of the subcontinent. For several thousand years, people lived along the banks of river Narmada. They were skilled gatherers. What is mean by skilled gatherers, children? That is gatherers of food. They collected roots, fruits and many other forest produce as their food. Okay, are you clear? The vast health of the plants scattered around the surrounding forest areas are very well known to them. They also hunted animals for food and their skins. Next, the areas along the Sulaiman and Kridar hills. These areas are located to the northwest of the subcontinent. Clear, children? Mainly, which areas located to the northwest of the subcontinent? The areas along the Sulaiman and Kridar hills. These are some of the places where people first started growing crops like wheat and barley around 8,000 years ago. Clear? Then the people also started rearing animals such as sheep, goat and cattle. Are you clear, children? Once again I'll repeat. These areas are located to the northwest of the subcontinent. Clear? Which areas? Sulaiman and Kridar hills. These are some of the places where people first started growing crops like wheat and barley around 8,000 years ago. Then people started rearing animals such as sheep, goat and cattle. Clear? Are you cleared with this, children? Okay. Next, we'll discuss the areas along the Vindhyas and the Garo hills. These were some of the areas where agriculture developed. The north of the Vindhyas was the first place where rice was first grown. Which is the first place? North of the Vindhyas was the place where rice was first grown. Clear, children? Next one is banks of Indus and its tributaries. Some of the earliest cities flourished on the banks of these rivers around 4,700 years ago. Then the banks of Ganga and its tributaries. About 2,500 years ago, cities developed on the banks of Ganga and its tributaries and along the sea coast also. Clear? Are you clear? In ancient times, there was a large and powerful kingdom named Magadha. It was situated to the south of the Ganga and along its tributary Sun. Its rulers was very powerful and set up a large kingdom. Kingdoms were also set up in other parts of the country as well. Clear, children? Children, are you cleared so far? Next, we'll discuss the archaeological sources. What is meant by archaeology, children? Archaeology is a study of cultures, of past and of periods of history by examining the remains of buildings and objects found in the ground. Clear, children? Once again I'll repeat. Archaeology is the study of cultures of the past and of periods of history by examining the remains of buildings and objects found in the ground. Clear? The people who study these objects are called archaeologists. The people who study about these objects are called archaeologists. Clear, children? Okay, students. Next, we'll discuss the various archaeological sources. Okay. What are the archaeological sources? Various archaeological sources you may know. Remains of buildings are monuments, then coins, other objects, then artifacts and so many things. Okay. What is mean by monuments? Monuments may be in the form of temples, forts, palaces, monasteries and so many things. Okay. They provide useful information about the development of art and architecture as well as the social and economic life of the people of the times when they were constructed. Okay. Once again I'll repeat. Monuments may be in the form of temples, forts, palaces, then monasteries and so many things. Mainly they provide useful information about the development of art and architecture. Okay. Give some example for that. Red Fort of Delhi, then Taj Mahal in Agra, and so many things. Okay. Next, we'll discuss coins. Study of coins means what, children? The study of coins is known as numismatics. Clear? Coins tells us about kings, the extent of their empires, dates, languages in use, then trade, art, religion and literary skills of a particular time. Clear, children? Okay. What are the other objects? Archaeologists find out, explore and unearth tools, weapons, pots, pans and ornaments by digging under the surface of the earth. Clear? These objects may be made of stone, bone, baked clay or metal. Clear? Next one is artifacts. What is mean by artifacts, children? Mainly the artifacts refers to the works of art such as paintings, sculptures, pottery, ornaments and so many things. Okay. That's all about the history chapter 1. Next we'll discuss civics chapter 1. Students, what is the name of the chapter 1? Yes, understanding diversity. What does mean by diversity? Diversity means the state of being diverse, which means what, children? We see different types of people in our surroundings, isn't it? Yes, of course. They are in different dresses. For example, some wear dhoti kurta while some other wears kurta pajamas, some other wears sari blouse and so many things. Okay. They speak different languages like Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Tamil, English and so many languages. They follow different religions, example Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism and so many things. Okay. In fact, diversity is a range of many people or things that are very different from one another. What is that? In fact, diversity is a range of many people or things that are very different from one another. Okay, what are the positive aspects of diversity? Diversity adds to our lives. The various differences that diversity includes actually enrich our lives in many ways. First, we can be a friend with the people who are very different from us. This can enrich our quality of life. Then we can eat a variety of foods that are different from the food that we normally eat. Yes, isn't it? We can enjoy by celebrating different festivals, wearing different clothes and learning different languages. Diversity enriches our knowledge. What is the second most important thing? Diversity enriches our knowledge. When we read a good story, even in other languages, we feel happy because it gives us a lot of idea. Okay, students, next we will revise diversity in India. India is a land of diversities. The people of India speak a number of languages, eat various types of foods, then celebrate different festivals and follow different religions. There are 8 major religions in the world. There are 8 major religions in the world. Each of them is practiced in India. Okay, clear with that. Next we will revise characteristics of diversity in India. We have so many characteristics of diversity in India. What are the characteristics? First one is different languages, then many religions, different cultures, festivals, dance and music, art and sculpture, then food habits and clothes. These are the some of the characteristics of diversity in India. What are the? Once again I'll repeat. Different languages, many religions, different cultures, festivals, dance and music, art and sculpture, food habits and clothes. Clear, children? Okay. What is mean by different languages? The people of India speak different languages. Clear? The 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution recognizes 21 languages. Apart from these, there are many local languages that reflect our diversity. Clear? Next, what we discussed in previous class, many religions. What is mean by many religions? The people of India have freedom to follow any type of religions. The main religions in India are Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Jainism and so many things. Okay. Besides, there are many customs and rituals in these religions. Despite this religious diversity, we have a harmonious secular fabric. Clear? Next, I will revise different cultures. What is mean by culture, children? Culture refers to the customs and beliefs, art, then way of life and social organization of a particular group or country. The people of India have different cultural backgrounds. Clear? Are you clear with it? Next we will revise festivals. What does mean by festivals? Some festivals based on religions. Example, the Hindus celebrate festivals like Dasara, Diwali, Holi and so many festivals. Okay. The Muslims and the Christians celebrate Eid and Christmas respectively. Some festivals are celebrated on the regional basis. What basis? Regional basis, such as Onam, Pongal, Bihu, Gurupurab and so many things. Okay. Okay. What are the national festivals? As Independence Day, Republic Day, Gandhi Jayanti are considered as the national festivals. Clear, children? Next one is dance and music. Diversity in India exists in the field of dance and music also. There were mainly two kinds of dances in India. What are they? One is classical and the one is folk. Clear? Classical dance also has many forms such as Kathak in North India, Bharatanatyam in Tamil Nadu, Kathakali in Kerala, Odissi in Orissa, Kuchipudi in Andhra Pradesh, Manipuri in Manipur. Clear? Folk dances are simpler and mostly based on seasons. Clear, children? That's all about that. Okay, students. Next we will revise reasons for diversity in India. There are many reasons for diversity in India. One is inequality of income, another one is caste system, another one is historical factors, at last one is geographical factors. Clear? What is mean by inequality of income, children? In that there is high inequality of income and wealth among the people of India that creates diversity. Which means inequality comes about when a person does not have the resources and opportunities that are available to other persons. Are you understand what I am telling? Next one is caste system. This is an important reason for social inequality. In this system, society was divided into different groups. Caste is a closed class and is determined by birth. It creates unequal and unscientific social hierarchy. People were supposed to remain in these groups. Next main thing is historical and geographical factors also influence the diversity of a region or a country. In that we discussed two case studies. One is Kerala and another one is Ladakh. Are you remember the children? Okay, just revise. Okay students, first we will revise Kerala case study. Okay, geographical factors of Kerala. The state of Kerala is situated in the southwest corner of the what? Of India. Clear? The state of Kerala is situated in the southwest corner of India. It is located in between the high Western Ghats in the east and the Arabian Sea in the west. Clear? Due to its geographical features, a large number of spices like pepper, cloves and cardamoms are grown on its hills. Due to its what? Due to its geographical features, a large number of spices like pepper, cloves and cardamoms are grown on its hills. Okay students, next we will discuss geographical factors of Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir. This state is situated between 32 degree 15 minutes north and 37 degree 0.05 minutes north and 72 degree 35 minutes east and 83 degree 20 minutes east. This situated between. Okay, geographically Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Here we shall mainly focus on the Ladakh region of the state. Ladakh is a desert in the mountains of the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. This region does not receive any rain, but it is covered with snow almost the whole year. Clear? So there is a little possibility of agriculture. The region has very few trees. Clear children? In Ladakh, the mountain slopes have extensive pastures. So almost every family keeps some livestock such as sheep, yaks, cows and goats. Clear? That's all about the geographical factors of Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir. That's all about the civics chapter 1. Next we will revise geography chapter 1. Okay, in this chapter we will discuss about the universe, the stars, mainly the constellations, then solar system, then galaxy, then the planets. Clear? First, what is meant by the universe? All the celestial bodies are located in the universe. Isn't it? Yes, of course. What is meant by celestial bodies? The sun, moon, meteoroids, comets, asteroids are also appear in the sky along with stars. Isn't it? Yes, of course. These are collectively known as celestial bodies. Clear children? Okay. All the celestial bodies are located in the universe. The universe is defined as the totality of everything that exists, including all physical matters and energy, the planets, the stars, galaxies and so many things. Okay. What is meant by stars? What are called as stars? The tiny twinkling objects that appears in the night sky, that are called as what children? That are called as stars. Clear? Next, we'll discuss about constellations. What is meant by constellations, children? We see millions of stars in the night sky. Isn't it, children? Yes, of course. Some of them appear to be in groups, forming definite patterns. Isn't it? these group of stars are known as constellations. Clear, children? Or you understand what is meant by constellations? The group of stars which forms various patterns. Okay. Give some example for that. As big pear, small pear. For that we discussed the Saptarishi. Or you understand? Or you remember? Sorry. Or you remember that? Yes. Saptarishi. Sapta means what? Sapta means 7. Rishi means what? Sages. Are you remember that, children? Okay. Saptarishi is a group of 7 stars that forms a part of the large or some major constellation. Clear? The 2 stars at the head of this constellation. Clear? These pointers always points toward what star? As pole star. Pole star is also called as what, children? As pole star is also called as North Star or the Polaris, which indicates the north direction. Clear? It always remains in the same position in the sky. Clear? What we discussed next, children? Yes, galaxy. What's mean by galaxy? Stars are not uniformly distributed in the universe. They occur in groups. Mainly billions of stars together to form a group called what? Galaxy. Clear, children? What is mean by galaxy? A galaxy is a huge system of billions of stars and clouds of dust and gases. Clear? That's all about the galaxies. There are millions of galaxies in the universe. These galaxies may vary in shape, size and brightness. Clear? Next, what we discussed is the solar system. Solar means what? Solar means related to the sun. Clear? The family of the sun is called solar system. The sun, its 8 planets and all the objects moving around them, they are collectively form the solar system. Clear, children? What we discussed in that next, planets. What is mean by planets? The planets are the heavenly bodies which revolve around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Clear? The planets are the heavenly bodies which revolve around the sun in an elliptical orbit. They, which means except Venus and Uranus, move around the sun in an anti-clockwise direction, that is west to east. Clear? There are 8 planets in the solar system. All these planets get heat and light from the sun. They can get heat and light from the sun. They all move around the sun in fixed path. Clear? These elongated paths are called what, children? Orbits. Clear? These planets are categorized into 2 types. What are they? One is inner planets, another one is outer planets. Okay, what does mean by inner planets? Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars are called as inner planets. They are also known as terrestrial or Earth-like planets. Clear? Then what is mean by outer planets? These lie beyond the orbits of Mars. Clear? The outer planets means what, children? These lie beyond the orbit of Mars. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune are considered as the outer planets. Clear, children? These are the huge planets made up of gases and liquids. And now we discussed about the asteroids, isn't it? What is mean by asteroids? Asteroids are the group of tiny bodies which made up of rocks which revolve around the sun, mainly between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Clear? Asteroids are also called minor planets. Asteroids are also called as what? Minor planets, since they revolve around the sun mostly between the Mars and Jupiter. This region has come to be called the asteroid belt. Clear? Are you understand, children? Next, what is the main difference between stars and planets? Stars are twinkle, but planets do not twinkle. Then stars have their own light, but planets reflect the lights of stars. Okay? Then stars are very hot, but planets may be hot or cold according to their distance from the sun. Yes, of course. Then stars can be seen with naked eye, but most of planets cannot be seen with the naked eyes. These are the main differences between the stars and planets. Okay. I hope you all understand the quick revision about those 3 chapters. We will see in next video class. Thank you, students.